especially if you're a gameplay lover, we might have a goodie for you in the next patch update.
Yep. So make sure you come back.
Yeah. So Ruski, are you happy for the upcoming winter holidays?
I am. I'm actually going to see my parents after 2 years of not seeing them in person.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's right.
So it's been quite the 2 years. So
yeah, yes, it has.
Looking forward to see them in person, not on FaceTime.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. I'm actually visiting my family right now, and I'm really looking forward to the food. So it's always my favorite part.
My mom's cooking, the best.
Yeah, yes. Family cooking is always the best at this time of year. All right, why don't we get started though? Without further ado, please welcome our senior art designer of the Modern Menswear kit, Vince and Jake Burt from Stefan Cook.
Welcome, welcome.
Hey everybody.
Hey. Hey guys.
How's it going?
Yeah, really well. Super excited to be here. It's looking amazing. Can't wait to see it properly.
Ooh,
yeah.
Yes,
we've got
this one.
We've got quite the global collection here too. We're all over the place. With you're located in the UK, correct?
Yeah, I'm just in Overhaul town in London, where I live.
Well, thanks for joining us so late in the day for you. We really appreciate it.
No worries. It's a pleasure.
All right. Without further ado, Ruski, anything you want to jump in on before we turn it over to Vince and Jake?
I'm just looking forward for everybody to look at the pieces and enjoy them, because it has been a blast working on this kit, just looking at everything, how it came together. So I'm looking forward to hear everybody's opinions as we show you guys.
All right.
Cool. Let's jump in. Let's take a look at some of these pieces here.
Oh, wow.
All right. So everybody see this amazing first piece here. Look at this one. I had to start with this one because it's one of my favorite. I'm a little biased being Canadian and all. Canadian tuxedo. I love this outfit. Here you can see it's all denim, and I'm going to dive into this. Jake, please jump in. You're anytime. You want to talk a little bit about the inspiration behind this piece?
Yeah, I mean, we were looking at like some kind of tartan fabrics and traditional checks, and we wanted to find a way to make it work in denim. So originally in the show, the piece is all kind of like pressed in pleats and then top stitched down, and then obviously it's denim, so it gets washed. And it was really exciting because after we'd released the collection, ASAP Rocky wore it, which meant that when it hit the stores, it sold out really quickly. I also have this jacket myself, and I wear it all the time, and I love it.
So cool. Awesome. Well, let's take a look at some other pieces here. We've got 5 full body pieces that we created of your lineup, and just go through a couple of these ones here that are some of my favorites here. Check this out.
Yeah, I love that one. I have this in my wardrobe as well, in an extra large, and I love it. The fabric, a really old friend of ours from St. Martin's days came to work for us as fabric sourcing, and she sourced from this amazing mill in Italy who actually worked with like Prada and Celine and everyone like that. So it was a really big deal for us to be able to do these kinds of amazing traditional houndstooths in these amazing colors.
So cool. The team had so much fun working on these. I just got to say too, like the concept team, we had like 2-3 concept artists working on this and a few modelers, and everybody just thoroughly enjoyed working on this stuff and worked, really hard to try to capture your guys' designs just perfectly and still match the sim style. So just to echo what Nadi was saying, just a fun kit to work on, and love the way that the pieces have turned out. And you and Stefan were just phenomenal at providing feedback and giving us any references that we needed for any of the materials, just constantly there for us, and just had a ton of fun working on this.
I'm glad. Yeah, I feel like we learned quite a lot from you guys as well in terms of, when you're talking about simification, and details can't be too small, they need to be really visible. And I think we sometimes need to remember that when we create our collections as well. We get so wound up about these minute details, but I think I definitely learned to like think about how visible something needed to be from doing this project.
Let's take a look at this leather jacket. Love this thing.
Yeah. I was looking at this earlier when I was looking at the looks again, and I was thinking back to the day of the show, and this leather jacket arrived 3 minutes before we did the show. It was really stressful. One of our team was like at the leather factory, which is right up in North London, next to the machinist. Come on, you've got to get it done, get it to the show. But we got it in, and it's one of my favorite pieces. I love it.
I remember you saying something about like the first time you did this jacket, the leather was a little bit too thick. You guys were like, iterating on it, trying to find the right leather for it.
Yeah, exactly. We just used it was too thick, and the original sample you can kind of stand up on its own. But now we do it in real life. It's in a Napa leather, so it's a lot more soft.
So cool.
Yeah, this looks really good. I really like these full body ones. I like that because of the lengths and stuff, we made them full body. I think it's really strong.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about the full body is we're able to technically build it all in like that. Some as we can't do when we break it up tops and bottoms. But when we do it as a full body, that allows us to capitalize on some of the pieces that flare out and things like that.
Yeah, I think it looks amazing. The fit is so good as well. I mean, I can't believe that you never actually saw the piece in real life, obviously because of the pandemic, and you still managed to make them just look just so good. I think the fit is perfect.
Well, we're so happy that you love the way they turned out, and the team was ecstatic about that. Like I said, everybody was really passionate about doing the best they could for making your line come to life here.
Yeah.
Universe. Oh my gosh, we got so much stuff to go through here with all these cool shirts and bottoms. Let's see.
Yeah, I think it would look really good with this. This in the cream, which is how the original was. This is one of my favorites. Yeah. Oh, I love this piece.
This might be my favorite sweater, actually. I might have to buy one of these, Jake. It's pretty beautiful.
They were really good. They unfortunately sold out so quickly to the point where I got my private order, and then I was at a pub that night and they'd sold out in London, and some guy randomly came up to me and was like, "Where did you get that jumper?" And I was like, "Oh, I actually designed it." And he was like, "Oh, okay, fair enough." Yeah, this piece.
Look at this embroidery here.
Yeah, and I guess this is kind of one of our signature things we've been doing is this like knitwear that has slashes in it. This is, I guess, a slightly more subtle version of it in comparison to the ones where they're diamonds all over. Yeah. I mean, we were really lucky. We started working with knitwear consultancies who were really good very early in London. And we developed knitwear really early, which is good because in fashion, it's a great category to have. People are willing to, spend some money on knitwear to keep it for years. I mean, I basically have all of these pieces in real life and I wear them all the time.
This one here is, I've seen this one quite a bit in photos of your gallery online.
Yeah. These diamond ones, they're super popular.
It's cool. This one here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is from these ones are in the stores at the moment. They're kind of like a slightly more office appropriate version of the diamond knit, where it's just got that one row of slashes across.
Right.
I think maybe good for people who don't feel comfortable wearing something quite so full on.
Yeah, like that a lot. We ended up putting it like a shirt under this one. Typically, you've showcased this in the past with skin underneath, and obviously for the game here we couldn't show skin underneath these spots here. So we put a shirt on, which works out really nice for the winter season anyway, right? Just a little warmer.
Yeah, and I think as well it's just more realistic. Like I haven't encountered anyone who wears these things with nothing underneath in real life. So it made sense to put a shirt underneath because that's how people would wear them, I think. Generally.
Yeah.
So Vince and Jake, I was wondering if these are all really great pieces here. I love the different styles that we have, but I was just wondering what the philosophy of Stefan Cook is, and where do you get your information or inspiration from your designs?
I guess me and Stefan just really believe in we've both been like, we come from very normal families and we've been charity shopping for years. For anyone who doesn't know what charity shopping is, because I feel like it's thrifting in America. In England, it's charity shopping. It's just secondhand stores that are super cheap, and they're all over England. And since we were teenagers, that's where we would shop for all of the clothes we wore. So we tend to just keep our eyes open and get inspired by things we find often in real life, and then maybe add like a slightly fantasy detail like these slashes. And it's all about taking something that's quite classic and maybe quite normal and just changing a few things, just adding a few things and making it slightly abnormal, slightly subversive. That's what we're interested in.
That's really great, and yeah, it is. Yeah, the thrifting, or my friends and I in high school would every now and then go to the secondhand store, and yeah, now that you mention it, I see a lot of themes and repeated patterns and stuff that I can definitely see were inspired from those beginnings you're talking about. Another question too, I was just wondering, what did you enjoy most about your collaboration with us and working with Vince and the team on this kit?
I mean, we had twice weekly meetings with Vince, and I think me and Stefan realized really quickly, and not just Vince as well, everyone else in the team, we realized really quickly how much we liked them and how much we had in common in terms of, I think I'm a bit of a troglodyte, maybe, I'm not very savvy with computers, but seeing that level of craft that me and Steph always try to uphold within our work, mirrored in the work that the team did as well, just so respectful of our designs. And we even on calls would have so many amazing conversations outside of the project as well. I really, really looked forward to those meetings. I never felt like, oh God, it's that meeting now. I really enjoyed myself every time.
The feeling was mutual. We just loved every meeting we had, and it was just so much positive energy and just excitement about making these pieces the best we could possibly make them for our fans and for y'all. So yeah, just great experience all around.
That's really great to hear. I'm glad to hear it was such an organic collaboration that we had going on. But Vince, just out of curiosity, you kind of touched on this briefly, but Jake, feel free to add to this as well. But I'm just curious, with the pandemic and seeing how meticulous you were and the art team was with the level of detail, how were you able to achieve this without actually touching and feeling the fabric? Any secrets you want to share with us? Because that's amazing to me that you're able to get that level of detail without ever touching it. Well,
I think that the reference photos that we got from Stefan and Jake were just fantastic. A lot of close-ups of the textiles, and the concept team just super talented too. They just they know what a lot of these materials are, and they would take a look at those photos and they would run with it. And then we'd meet with Stefan and Jake, and they'd be like, we need to tweak this a little bit. Can we adjust that a little bit? Absolutely. I think that's a great idea. Let's tune it. So it was just such a collaborative effort there to make sure that we captured that feel through the eyes of Stefan and Jake.
I think as well, there was almost not seeing, because you couldn't see the clothes in real life, there was no room for it to get overcomplicated. You're working from images of the clothes, and these are images of the clothes. And I think that, I wonder if in the end that helped. I mean, I guess you would know, because you must have created from clothes that you could touch before as well.
I mean, it may have. I mean, there's a formula to what we do to try to capture that. We call it simification, of these designs, of these materials. Because if you make it too high contrast and too detailed, then it gets really noisy. It doesn't read very well on screen. So you got to kind of do a characterization of the patterns and the materials and soften some of the contrast a little bit in order for them to read nicely in the Sims 4. So between those techniques that we use and with the conversations and the references we had with you guys, it's just we were able to we were just able to get there.
You could be a good teacher at St. Martin's. I feel like I could have done with being told about simification when I was studying, and not getting too stressed about these details and thinking about what it looks like as an image. It's really important in fashion as well.
I don't know if we took a look at all these cool colors on these shoes. I love these shoes. You got these shoes are really unique. I wish I could zoom up a little closer on them, but you've got this kind of elastic design incorporated on the tops of the shoes. This is I really love that.
Yeah, because those trousers actually, they're one of the oldest pieces me and Steph ever did. They're quite similar to his MA collection, which he did whilst we were at uni, and they're made of strips of elastic that are cover stitched together. And in the actual collection, we also digitally printed on them with these like trompe l'oeil kind of clothing techniques. But when we redid them for Autumn Winter 21, we did them on the shoes as well as this slightly sexy detail, this like elastic stretched over the shoe. I think there's something quite I don't know, something a little bit dark about that. I really like it, and that's that point as well.
It's really cool. Whatever, just to touch on the materials that you guys use, and you get a really nice blend of that tactile types of different materials, those textures that you see. It's just a nice blend that you guys add in your designs that just make it feel cozy, comfortable, yet really elegant at the same time. Just I really appreciate the design that you guys put into your outfits.
Yeah, I think as well there's sometimes like an element of, as I say, like me and Steph did our MA collections on absolutely no money, and then since having the business we've often had to budget really hard on development because we're still such a young brand, and so using things like elastic that are so readily available and it's so cheap, and just applying that as well, but in an interesting way. Sometimes it's also just about designing with a budget to make something really beautiful, and I think we achieved it in those shoes, I think.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, and then those loafers with the whip stitching, they've been really popular, and I've been really happy to see so many people buying and wearing them and sharing them on social media. We see that quite a lot. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the colors are really good.
This piece here.
Oh yeah.
This. I could go on for hours of all the different possible combinations that we can put together here, but we've got a total of 23 pieces with this set, and there was so much more to go through, and it was just a small little story at the beginning of all this. Jake and Stefan had these they got a bunch of these shirts with prints of shirts kind of on top of them, and we were trying to figure out how we could actually sell that, because it's a little challenging to actually have, you've got to paint in the folds and the design of the outfit as it is. So now you've got to actually imagine trying to have it be a picture of a shirt on a picture that's already painted. So it was like, man, I think these are going to be really challenging for us to sell, but really cool designs too that people should check out online when they get a chance.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see the cutting room floor and what we edited out, because I think it was really interesting to see why things couldn't work. It was almost like with those shirts, it was a photo of a piece of a theatre archive, from a theatre archive, digitally printed onto a shirt. And then I think if it had then come back through another digital process, it would have lost its kind of, you wouldn't have been able to understand what it was, I think. Yeah, that's why I think all the knitwear works so well, because it's such a knitwear's so wholesome and comforting, and I really like seeing it through this sort of digital lens. I think it works so well. I think as well because it's been so, you should put on that jumper that you hand painted the texture of, that crochet one. We kind of tried it on earlier, but I remember you trying really hard to get that shell stitch that we used just right, and I think I couldn't believe how good it was. It just looks great.
This is my one contribution to painting texture in the game. Keep my hands in there. And so wow, this was fun. Enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, it's been amazing to see all of these pieces. I've really enjoyed this and seeing them all styled. I can't wait to see people trying them on after it's been released. I think it's going to be amazing.
Agreed. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So one of the things that when we announced this kit, we have the title, right? Modern Menswear. And a lot of people were like, what? But if you guys, either Vince or Jake, maybe more Jake. If you could describe this kit to our players and what it means, that would be really great.
I mean, I guess we were approached by Sims because they wanted more fashion-forward options for the male characters, and I think we were offering that in our clothes, but still referencing something very classic about sort of men's fashion. I'm talking more like men's catwalk fashion, I guess, because that's what me and Stefan do. And I think this kit and the selection we made for it was about finding that idea on different levels. So like this piece is quite full on. It's a varsity jacket with a skirt attached, pleated, in this really amazing kind of heritage wool. But there's other pieces as well that are like joggers that are quite simple, or just jeans and denim jackets. I think there's something more approachable about them. And I think it was really nice that part of the process was, I think in the beginning we came with like a lot of like very heavy ideas, and the Sims team were like, oh, you should consider that within the game people might not yet feel comfortable wearing this varsity dress. So we should include some things that are more approachable for those players, and then they can build up to wearing some of the other stuff. And I think the kit as a whole is quite modern because it offers so many options for people to end up wearing something maybe slightly more explorative. I think that's, for me, why it feels modern. I don't know, Vince, what do you think of that?
No, I think you hit it on the head. I can't add anything more to that. It's it's one of these things where you've got a ton of players who really want to wear traditional, more conservative-esque clothes, just men's clothing. We've been asked for that, and at the same time, we want to make sure that we are pushing the boundaries of like, hey, this is what's up and coming. This is what we are looking at the future at right now. This is the kinds of clothing that you're going to expect to see men wearing all the time. And I think you and Stefan are cutting edge of that and pushing that. It's just really encouraging to see. And so I love that we're able to showcase that here in The Sims 4 and give the players these options of these fantastic designs. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
So that was a great overview. Like I said before, like super excited to see it in everybody's game and see what you guys come up with in the gallery or show us your outfits. That would be something really nice to see. And this take on menswear that it's pretty, fashion forward that you normally see in the runway, but regular Sims can wear. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, this was really great. It's awesome to see all of this. You put so much hard work into this, and we're happy to see it going out for players to experience. So thank you so much, Vince. Thank you, Jake, as well. Please say hi to Stefan for us. And yeah, thanks for joining us. This was really great talking with you today.
Oh no, thank you so much. The whole project's just been amazing, and this was just such a great way to round it off. So thank you guys for chatting today.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks, Vince. Bye.
Bye.
So wow, Ruski, that was amazing. I really love that.
Yes, I have dibs on some of that jackets. Just saying.
Yeah, I know some of those sweaters. I believe they're also referred to as jumpers too. Yeah, I love those, and I want to add some of those to my collection in the near future if they don't sell out too quickly.
Yeah, when I saw the concepts, my favorite thing was the cutout sweater, and I really told production like, please make this. Because it was like my favorite piece of all the concepts. I was like, that. My eyes just went to that, and I was super happy to see it come to life in all their forms. Apparently, they didn't just make the one I looked at, but many. So I was like, okay, I was really happy to see them. So that was really good.
Yeah, no, I think that was my favorite ones as well, were the cutouts with the diamond shapes too. So yeah, I love
Yeah.
those.
It's so unique, but it's also it's very fun to wear, which is would be very fun to wear. Which fashion should be fun.
Yeah, of course. All right. Well, thank you again. And yeah, let's move on to our next topic. So Sims 411. Now, if you all have seen this before, you know this is the section where we talk hot topics and we give you a sneak peek of what's coming in the base game in the next patch. And the Sims 411 that we talk about today can be read in the recap on November 29th in our blog. So be sure to check that out as well if you'd like to get a refresher on what we talk about today. So, as usual, let's start with hot topics. First up, I've got one for you. It's an update on the non-binary pronouns. So this past May, we opened up about our pursuit for non-binary language in The Sims. Since then, we've researched global language characteristics, connected with consultants, and collected data on areas where a change may be needed. Now, although there is a path ahead of us before we're able to update the game, we'd like to give you a look behind the scenes and show you where we are in the process. In January 2022, during the first Inside Maxis of the new year, we're hosting a fireside chat with members of our development team where we will share an update, including the research completed to date, more on our partnership with the external experts, and the work in progress wireframes. So make sure to tune in. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm hoping to see all of you there. Next up.
That would be super exciting. I hope to join you on that one too.
Oh yeah, we'd love to have you.
So the next one is a update on the NPC overhaul. So we did not forget about the Tony's update that we mentioned back in August. But I want to clarify that at the time we didn't mean exactly the townies, because there's a difference between NPC and townies. So what we're focusing on in this overhaul is the NPCs, or the flagship characters, as we call them. So in our terminology, we'll use NPCs moving forward, because I don't want to confuse people. Because trust me, it's very confusing. So we have been working behind the scenes with a talented group of people, including a fantastic concept artist, a fantastic character artist, an art director that it's just love, pure love. Also, our employee resource groups, or what we call the ERGs, which that help us create inclusive experiences in our game, and of course, the members of the Sims community who have shared their valuable feedback with us based on their extensive knowledge about the character's history, which is the same as ours. So it's really good to combine our brains, collective brains on this. Well, we don't have a date for this update to happen. We do have some work in progress that I want to show you. So you guys, give you an idea where we're heading. I want to note really clear that this is work in progress. It is subject to change. Even the concepts are subject to change. So I just want to make sure that is clear. But I still want to show you what we're up to as we continue to research, adjust, and collaborate. So that is actually really good. So I picked out some before, current and after concepts of the goths and the calientes. So keep an eye. So let's see. Let's start with Mortimer. So as you see him here, he's Mortimer in the game right now. If you go to the next image, transition. So we have concepted of new face features and details, such as some of the eye details, like bags under his eyes, new cheekbones, probably a new nose and mouth. So it makes him look a little bit more, to his age, but not making it too old. We are not shown here, but we're thinking about adding a new mustache, a little bit more refined, a little bit more elegant.
Nice.
Of the goths. And we're not pictured here either. We're looking to adjust a little bit of his skin tone. As we receive feedback from community members, that is something we kind of are looking at experimenting with. And of course, there's no Mortimer without Bella. As you
Bella,
see,
yes.
Bella, this is Bella right now in the game with makeup and without makeup. So if you go to the next image, ta-da! We're thinking about adjusting her skin tone. We added also new facial features, a little bit on the nose and mouth, and new facial details, like with the, what do you call that? Beauty marks in English?
Yeah, beauty marks. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, my Spanish was like.
No, that's great.
We're also thinking about a new hairstyle that we got feedback for. And it's not picture here, but we're thinking about to see what hairstyle would fit her. A little bit more modern, a little bit more like, refined as well. So now that we have Bella, let's take a look at the calientes.
Ooh, the calientes.
Yeah. Hi, this is current Dina. Hello. So in Dina's lore, she's supposed to be kind of like the concept between Spanish and Middle Eastern Arabic. So if you look at the next image, we want to adjust her to be true to her story and her ethnicity. So we have concepted new facial features, which is new nose, eyelash, eyes, a new mouth and jawline, kind of that strong jawline. Now here we have this concept with brown eyes. I know Dina and Nina are green eyes or light eyes, but feedback from the community, they didn't seem to mind much the brown eyes, so it is something that we might stick with. Of course, we're adjusting her skin tone, and we're exploring actually a new hair color, not to make it too much this yellow, but a little bit more muted. And potentially new outfits, because they need to be glam.
Yes, of course. It wouldn't be them if they're not glam.
That's what I call it. So now that we see Dina, let's take a look at Nina, which is our next image. Nina, right now, this is what she looks like. She's in the moment. And then now if we go to the next image, she will share some of the features our Dina sisters. Like eyelash, eyes, mouth, jawline, that strong jawline. We're adjusting her skin tone. We got feedback from the community that maybe a new hair color as well. A little bit more auburn, a little bit more, fashionable. And same as Dina, we would explore new outfits for them. That is potentially something. So this is very exciting, and this is a project that I am embarking with the help of many people. So I'm really happy to show you guys what is in progress, and looking forward to share with you more on this because as we go along, because why not? So if you have any feedback from these pictures, let me know on Twitter. Just make sure I'm not in super long threads because those are hard to follow. But thank you again for your feedback. And I'm making a note again. These concepts are not final, and they will defer to how they look in game. So I'm looking forward to show you as we go along. So,
Thank you so much, Nadia. That was awesome seeing all of that progress that's being made.
It's really exciting. Our character artists and our concept artists are fantastic. So they're really excited.
Yeah. And I love that last hair color at the end too. I haven't dyed my hair in a few years, and I've been thinking about adding some color to it again, and that actually is a little bit tempting.
A while ago because my white hair is just a headband right now. So it's the older I get, so I was like, let's go back to original blonde and let's just live with it. So I'm happy to experiment at least. So.
Well, thank you so much for providing that update. That was really great. I love to see the things that are in progress. So yeah, thanks so much. All right. So now next up, we're moving on to our sneak peek now. So Nadia, real important question for you. Do you ever wonder what your neighbors are doing?
All the time. Especially with the what's going on. I want to know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, whenever I see construction in the neighborhood too, I'm always like, oh, what's it going to be? What's it going to be?
I want to know.
But most importantly, though, my Sims in the game do wonder what their neighbors are doing too. And with that being said, we'd love to introduce viewers to Neighborhood Stories. So yeah, our friends Nate and SimGuru PJ are the ones who worked on this new feature that will come to your base game with the next patch update. Now, because it's the holidays and we're all working from different areas, they did pre-record a video for us, and they will give you all the details in this. So you'll be able to read everything about this Neighborhood Stories feature in our blog. But first, let's take a look at what Nate and SimGuru PJ have to tell us.
This is SimGuru PJ, and I am a producer on The Sims.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nate, and I am a game designer on The Sims 4.
And we're super excited to talk about something we've been working on recently coming to The Sims 4. And it's called Neighborhood Stories. Neighborhood Stories are a set of new features that we're introducing that will ideally bring more life to The Sims outside of your active households. So like what that might look like is they might change their jobs or have babies or ask your Sim for advice, or even on friends they should make, advice about friends they should make. But currently, if you wanted to do all these things, you have to actively take control of those Sims and play them to initiate them. And so what we're trying to do is introduce this in a way where your neighborhood Sims will do this on their own or through your advice. But they have their life of their own, and we're just trying to breathe new life into that world around them.
Yeah, exactly. So there are a couple of efforts that are going into making all of this happen. And for this release in November, we're going to get into a lot more details around that. But sort of like PJ was talking about, the design team and the whole team has really been working against this goal to bring more life to neighbor Sims that live outside the active household. That's really the statement that we've kind of rallied around for this.
So maybe Nate, you can explain what we're trying to say when we were talking about like your neighbor Sims.
Oh yeah, definitely. So really, we're talking about almost all of the NPCs in the game. There's a couple of special NPCs that we have that we don't want to mess with. Grim Reaper is a really good example of that. It doesn't really make sense for us to have the Grim Reaper change their job. They have a very special job to do. But like Bob and Eliza Pancakes, for example, are who we're talking about when we talk about neighbor Sims. And like PJ mentioned, there are all these things that can happen in The Sims 4, but currently a lot of them can really only happen when your Sims are doing them, or if your Sims are involved somehow, like you have to invite other Sims to a party, or they have to be there with your Sims at the bar or the library or the park in order for these sort of changes to happen in their lives. And that's something that we are looking to change.
Cool. So Nate, it looks like one of the first things we kind of queued up, and it happened a lot quicker than I thought it would. One of the things we can do is ask another Sim, and we'll show it to you later, like how do you initiate it, but we've already done it, is discuss expanding a family, right? So we've done that with Eliza, and it looks like she has news that her and Bob are pregnant. So maybe that's something we can speak about a little just now.
Yeah, that's awesome. So this is a really great example of what we're talking about, where normally getting pregnant and having babies is something that only the Sims that you are playing in the active household can do. But as you can see, we are not playing as the Pancakes right now, and Eliza Pancakes is not in our household. So that is just one of several new things that we are adding to the game in order for Sims to be able to do that. And in this case, we did that through a new interaction, one of several that you can look forward to seeing. But then there are also other life changes that neighbor Sims can kind of choose for themselves, and they will initiate that on their own.
Totally. And so those are basically examples of how we're trying to, bring them to life. Maybe right now we can talk a little bit about the aspirations that we're adding to this release.
Oh yeah, totally. So we're adding 2 new aspirations to highlight and celebrate these new ways that your Sims can be involved in the lives of neighbor Sims. So the first one is called Villainous Valentine, which I'm really excited for. It's a new deviant aspiration. And this one's really about Sims destroying love lives, both their own and the love lives of other Sims. And the second one is sort of the opposite of that almost. It's Neighborhood Confidant. And this is really for Sims who want to be a helpful and positive influence in the lives of others. Why don't we choose that one now?
Okay, choose this one. All right. I was gonna say like maybe we keep it because no, you know what? I'm gonna invite Bella Goth over, and we'll try to do some stuff that will help with that aspiration.
Yeah, we'll be a helpful and positive presence, at least for now.
For now. All right. So maybe we can even take a look at what the start of that baby discuss having a family. Oh, she's mad.
Yeah, let's do it. Something's up with Bella.
Yeah, let's try and brighten her day.
Yeah, let's go talk to her.
Where is this?
Oh yeah, you had it just there.
Oh, I did. Sorry. Got to come back around now. Expanding the family.
Well, she's angry right now, so let's see if she goes for it.
What do you think about babies, Bella? And having one? Oh, hey.
All right. Looks like she was open to that right now. I'm glad you brought it up. I've been thinking the same. Let me chat with Mortimer and I'll get back to you.
Nice.
So yeah, this is awesome. It helps that your Sim is really good friends with her. You can see that down in the relationship panel. But sometimes Sims will say no to this, and especially if they hate children, for example, then they're not going to go for it.
That's awesome. I like how it has a good impact on some of your neighbors, and your Sim can influence that, especially giving you tools through the aspiration to figure out ways to do that, right?
Yeah, definitely. And not everything is good either. We saw that villainous Valentine aspiration. And why don't we see about doing something not so nice?
Am I going to suggest to her to break up or to have a baby and then break up with Mortimer right after, or should I ask?
I think you should do it.
Okay.
I'll be the devil on your shoulder.
Yeah. All right. We are pretty good friends, so she might just do anything I say, but that's not true. They won't always do that, even if we're all good friends.
Yep, it's true. And when Sims really like each other and you try to do this, if they're not happy about that, then they are going to be mad at you.
We don't need your opinion about our relationship. Thank you very much. See, I knew their bond was pretty strong.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And there's a chance if you do this and these Sims aren't into it, you might even get negative sentiments from it.
Is there anything I missed? There's a few other types of interactions we can kind of like show you. You can talk up other Sims. Or
yeah, there's a few things that we've added.
Them.
Yeah, there's a few things that we've added in this release. There's a news post that is coming out at the same time as this that you should definitely all check out. It has full details about everything that is in the release, things that you can do, life changes that your neighbor Sims are going to go for.
Totally. And then maybe we can talk a little bit about what's coming up. So everything we showed today is going to be released soon, very, very soon. And then we have another update later on. Maybe you can explain a little bit, Nate, about what's the difference in the two.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, like PJ was talking about, and like I mentioned earlier on in this conversation, Neighborhood Stories is a new thing. It's big, and we're going to be putting out new gameplay and new content related to this over multiple releases. So this month, the things that you've seen in this preview are included in the content that's going out. These are life changes for Sims that, again, have relationships with the active household. So you have to have some kind of relationship with them in order for these things to happen. Some of these changes that your neighbor Sims can go for, they'll initiate themselves. And if that's the case, then they'll call you up and they'll ask you for your input. We know that a lot of our players have a lot of long-running saves, multi-generation saves, multi-household saves, and rest assured that Sims aren't going to just go off and make changes. Oh, perfect timing. Wow, Eliza,
Yeah.
that was great. So Eliza is asking us if we should get to know Azure Askew a little bit better. So yeah, Azure is another sim in this game, and she's basically looking for our input on that. So if PJ is playing this game and he feels that for the stories that he's telling for the households that he has in this game, if it doesn't make sense that Eliza and Azure would hang out with each other, then he can say no because he's answering for his sim. So the same thing applies to the other things. If a sim is thinking about changing their job, you as a player can speak through your sim to say, no, you shouldn't do that. Either if it makes sense for the story that you're telling, or if it's something that you don't want to happen, you can prevent it. So you have that control. And that's how things work in this current release. In a future release, we're going to be building out a sort of a much larger system where it's going to involve Sims across the game, not just Sims that the current household has relationships with. And that's still going to include things we talked about, like job changes, and a couple of other things that I can't mention yet. Stay tuned for that information in the future. But what's going to be included with that is also some extra controls so that you can configure how that system works, which households it works for. Because again, we want to make sure that we give you the power and the control to make these new systems work well in, especially in long-running saves, multi-generation saves, multi-household saves.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, we want to bring that extra life to the world, but not at the expense of creating chaos.
Totally. I'm happy about the amount of control we're going to give players to the amount of detail that they're going to have to be able to influence the lives and how much they want that stuff to happen or not.
Yeah, but, you'll always be able to give your input one way or the other.
Yeah. So Nate, thank you so much for walking us through all this new stuff. And like Nate said, we had this blog post that we wrote up, that actually he wrote up, that goes into much more detail about things and explains a lot better than we probably did today. But I mean, this is all demo. So yeah, that will release shortly after this live stream wraps up. So we hope you enjoy influencing your Sims neighbors' lives. And thank you.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Hello again. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that sneak peek at Neighborhood Stories, which is coming out in the next patch update next week. What did you think, Nadia?
Oh, it's great. Actually, like even what is being added for next week is actually makes it pretty interesting to interact with other stuff. So I'm really happy you guys are getting it. So yeah. Oh, be sure to check out Nate's blog. It should be live now. Is it live? Is it live? But yeah.
Yeah, there's more info in there. Yes, we'll let you know, of course.
He has a lot of detailed information there, so be sure to check that out for sure.
Right, and then a special thank you again to our friends Nate and Sim Guru PJ for preparing that video for us. Thank you so much.
Oh yes, thank you so much for that.
All right, so looking at the time here, we've got time for a few other things to talk about. So let's get into talking about our next scenario. So just as a little quick reminder here, this scenario that we're about to talk about is going to be going live the day after the patch update. So just keep in mind that once the patch updates, the next day is when you'll be able to play the next scenario. So without further ado, let's talk about surviving the holidays. First of all, I love this image. Today was the first time I saw it, and if y'all had heard me in my reaction before, like, I love this image. I love me a good holiday sweater. But without that out of the way now, I'll talk about this next scenario. So surviving the holidays is a scenario that will put you in a situation where you'll be living with another sim, and you really don't like each other. And given the spirit of the season, it will be really up to you to figure out if you want to make things better and just survive to get through the holidays, or if you want to go the other route. So I really love that this scenario is coming out in the spirit of the holidays here. And Nadia, like what are some things that typically on your end remind you of the holidays, both the good and maybe the stressful?
Oh, the decor, it's one thing.
Yeah.
Decor is one thing, and the emphasis on like making sure the house is so festive you can't even escape it. Also the food.
The food.
Food is important. Reminds me not to step on the scale on this holiday season.
Me too.
But yeah, like maybe dealing with family members that come and visit, and it's like, oh no, where are you gonna put them in the house?
Yeah, so this scenario definitely reminds me of that part for sure. The stressfulness of just being around everyone and trying to make it through the holidays. But I really hope that players enjoy this scenario that we've got coming out for you, and looking forward to seeing everyone's feedback on these on Twitter. If you have any feedback about this scenario or other scenarios, feel free to let us know on Twitter, and we are listening and looking forward to updating the feature in the future and providing new scenarios coming up. Cool. Next up, after that, this is also going live the day after the patch. But do you remember this little fella or little bunny from last time? Yeah.
Ooh, is the XDX bunny?
The SDX bunny, the Sims Delivery Express bunny. It's finally happening. It is happening, everyone. The first Sims delivery is on its way to your base game. So as a reminder, again, Sims Delivery Express, SDX for short, will bring free content to your base game as a complimentary, more spontaneous little sister brother, little sibling from our regular game updates. This drops the day after the patch update, and what we have for you this time in store, we're going to be doing a hair update at first, and then after that, the week following that, we will be doing these tasty treats and festive touches like wall bows, decorative surface bow. You may see some things in here like if you see the welcome wagon fruitcake over there on the right, that is now coming to your game as a build buy item. So I know that everybody, at least in some areas, you understand that fruitcake is kind of a thing, and this is the regifted fruitcake. So I'm looking forward to seeing that come as a build buy item rather than a food item to the base game here. But Nadia, anything else on this screen you want to talk about here for assets that are coming out?
At the top, you will see a new featuring, and that is a poquito. So if you're from Puerto Rico, you know what this is. It is our version of the holiday drink, poquito. And if you're on the lower right corner, you're Venezuelan like me, you know what this is. This is an ajaca. Yes, we have an ajaca in game, and finally my Venezuelification of the game has been full circle. We added first arepas in Jungle Adventure now. We're adding ajacas, so it's one step closer to Venezuelify the whole game. No, I'm kidding. I'm not Venezuelifying the whole game, but you guys know what I mean. So it's actually really important recipe for us Venezuelans. So I hope that you guys enjoy making this in game. We also have fireplace thingies. What do you call
Fireplace tools, yeah.
For decorative purposes, and also a new salt and pepper shaker that you can put on your table, and in variety of colors, and aprons that nobody uses, because I have an apron I don't use it, just have it hanging there, which is part of my decor too. But yeah, like we hope that you love these items and that you enjoy decorating with them and playing with them. That's it.
Yeah, I'm so happy that these are finally coming out into the base game via our SDX tool. As a quick little reminder here, just to clarify, the first update we will have be coming out next week. The day after the patch is actually going to be a new hair, so be on the lookout for that. Or a hair, excuse me, for the base game. So be on the lookout for that. And then this one will be coming out the following week. And these are some holiday items for everyone to enjoy. So thank you so much.
Our first test of SDX, so hopefully you guys enjoy what we bring you. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, thank you so much. I really enjoyed this chat. Nadia, I hope you had a great time too.
No, I had a great time. And sorry, my camera setup keeps changing every time, and I'm not sure how to leave it. So it's like I'm looking at my screen, but also like everywhere else. So thank you so much for joining us today, everybody, and we hope you have a very nice and safe holidays.
Yep.
Yep.
And